Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872.
All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I'm Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, and we're on season 3, episode 3. And we are on some conspiracy theories today.
Bringing Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist back.
He's back.
First, before we moved into new ones, which, like you said a while ago, they're coming out every day now. What's the update on JFK? All those files got released. We know everything now, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, a lot of it's still redacted. They still haven't released all the files. I think there were another like 50,000 files that they're slowly supposed to be uploading. I haven't seen any update on that recently. And there's so much stuff. Everything that could give away anything really bad has been redacted. Most of what I saw and what I read was basically that they had been watching Oswald for a while. They had, they had suspicions that he was working for the Russian government because he obviously went and lived over there for a while and then came back, and they just let him back in. There's a lot of things that show that maybe they knew that he was planning an assassination attempt and almost just didn't stop it. I don't think, and I think the reason for that is they're like, well, if this guy's going to do this, we can pull it off. He's doing us a favor because JFK wants to disband the CIA. So let's just shut up, not make too many records, and let him do his thing.
That's kind of my feeling on a lot of these things is once these records are released, it kind of shows either a lack of commitment to research or they've just not researching at all, either ineptitude or purposely not gathering the information they need to gather. The same thing happened with the assassination attempt on Trump. I mean, obviously conspiracy theories are going wild about it because literally they cleaned up the area the day or two after. There's no files. I mean, we should know everything we need to know about that person by now. And it's
also weird that Trump didn't care to look more into it too. He seems like the type of person that just doesn't care. He's like, whatever, somebody tried to kill me, he's a lunatic, I move on. He's just like a weird like that where it doesn't faze him, which is really weird. But he might be an alien. Actually, we might need to get into that conspiracy theory. But the fact that just everybody's just like, yeah, somebody tried to kill him. All right, let's just move on to something else. Nothing to see here.
That's what a lot of things these days. With Charlie Kirk, I mean, like you just mentioned off air about Candace. I can't follow her at all either. You said you couldn't follow her. I mean, she's all over the board. I know her and Erica talked week before last, and she's toned it down some.
Yeah,
I don't hear the wild stuff.
Did she release anything about that conversation?
I have not seen anything about it.
It's just like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking like now maybe she's just running a disinformation campaign to pull people away from other stuff, and she's getting paid for it. I don't know.
Well,
I don't even trust anybody.
That's the consensus is she's just trying to get clicks, and so it's not just her. I think she's the top of the heap, but there's so many people that are really just trying to pull people away from TPUSA by trying to make it out to be an evil nonprofit that's really not what you think it is.
Right.
They tried to stay above the fray and ignored it until they couldn't ignore it anymore.
Yeah.
But
what is TPUSA doing now? I haven't heard them doing any events or
yes. Erica finished out the tour events that were on this guy. Actually, she's probably still going. She's had other people come in and do them, and she's done them. And that's one of the people are saying that she did all this because she wanted to take over Turning Point. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. But people say she's not grieving right because she's not being a widow like she's supposed to be, and I mean, it's just a bunch of junk. I mean, if you know background of Erica Kirk, she was very successful before Charlie.
Yeah,
she I forget all the stuff she did, but she was very successful, and he actually set up for her to take over, and people were trying to say no, that she warmed her way in there or something. It's just people just like to talk. It's like what you said on the last episode about maybe it was our first episode this season about keyboard warriors. You know, if we take the keyboards away, maybe a lot of stuff would go away because people just throw out stupid ideas that then take off on the internet.
Yeah, because there's no consequence when you're behind a keyboard doing it.
No, not at all. Um, I do think it has damaged the conservative party because what you've seen. I don't know if you saw what happened at their AmFest, but Ben Shapiro got up and he said some just I mean some terrible stuff about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson went back at him. Just basically they it's almost like the top ones in the movement are trying to take Charlie's place by destroying those around him.
Yeah.
And if they took anything away from Charlie, they should understand that's exactly what he didn't do. He
Right.
didn't take away from somebody else to get where he was. He like a rising tide lifts all boats. He was pulling everybody up, and it's almost like they're just fighting each other now.
Yep.
Um, which on one side, I want to say that's okay because we don't want to be like the Democrats and just be whatever the top person says, we do it. We want to
Right.
argue, we want to debate because that's what made us what we are. At the same time, though, you got to know where to draw the line. We
Yeah.
we're not the enemy inside. We need to fight what's going on around us.
Yeah.
So all this stuff about Charlie's murder and the conspiracy theories, not that's one that I haven't seen anything come true.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843 957 3872. That's 843 957 3872.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwestc@gmail.com. That's coachwestc@gmail.com. There
Right.
was no Jewish people. There was no Egyptians. There was no France assassin team. Some French plane didn't follow Erica Kirk around to every airport she went to. I mean, it just really got wild.
I know. Yeah. And then I feel like a lot of people have turned on Tucker, and there's one other person that has been criticizing Israel, and the Republicans are turning hard on anybody who does that.
Um,
There's one more who's doing it.
oh, who is it? I think
Can't
I know who you're
remember
talking
who
about.
else it was. That was critical of Israel and what was going on with our relations with them. But they do not like that. Like Ted Cruz went off on Tucker
Hmm.
about it and was like, I don't know. It's just weird how I get the people get really weird about Israel. It makes me question it more, like what's going on with the whole Israel situation.
Well, I, I don't like the Israel government. I really think they do some things that are just very dishonest and very behind the scenes. Um, but that's not the Jewish people, and that's not the Israel state. It's like
Right.
everybody wants to clump everything. It's like when you talk about one subject, everything's got to be the same. I'm not a big Netanyahu fan, but I don't hate him. He's not my leader. I don't have to worry about him.
Right.
But the Israel is there. The Jewish people are there because everybody says, well, they went back and took over the land. No, they actually were there. They never left. They've been there for 4,000 years. It's just that a bunch of people who lived in other countries migrated back there. But one of the reasons they did that after the Second War is because nobody wanted them in their country. I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't forced out, but they were very much encouraged to leave
Yeah.
because of what happened with Hitler and against the Jews, and we've seen it at other times. And just to put it in context, Jewish people on the planet, Jewish people are not the only ones that have gone through this type of persecution. If you go to the Middle East, there's certain nationalities that go through the same thing. You go to South America, there's certain nationalities that go through the same thing. Now, obviously, Jewish get a lot more publicity because to me, they have more um, visibility because of the major world religions. I mean,
Mhm.
the three top world religions are Judaism, Christianity, and Muslim, and
Yeah.
all of them trace their heritage back to Abraham in the Old Testament of the Jewish Bible and the Christian Bible. So they all go back to Abraham. So you have this fighting siblings basically spanning the globe, and so Israel obviously will stand out more than some of these other groups. But it's not an unusual human reaction to people who do well, and Jewish people have done well, though they haven't done well in every situation in every country. But this idea that Jews run the world, that's just, oh, come on, people. You don't understand how things work. it's really limited in your scope if you think that. I actually had a guy who was coming by my office. He was an adjunct, and he was really conservative. He does stuff in local areas around here, and he was real night gung ho and gung ho. He came in after the Charlie Kirk assassination, and he his first words out of his mouth was, "Well, the Jewish people have been active this week." And I thought he was talking about the bombing in Iran because it wasn't too long after that. I mentioned that. He's like, "Oh no, I'm talking about Charlie Kirk." I said, "You honestly believe they killed Charlie Kirk?" Absolutely, they killed him. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, "No, they didn't." And he never came back to my office after that. That's how gung ho these people are.
Yeah. Yeah, people think they're behind a lot of things, and sometimes they try. I've heard people make good arguments about it. I don't have actual proof, but I've heard some good arguments about it, and and some things make me speculate, like why we back them so much in certain instances, and what really goes on behind the scenes. But there's corrupt stuff going on behind the scenes with us in plenty of countries, not just them. So I'm not limiting it to just them.
Uh, I'm
But
definitely
it
not
does
one of
make me wonder
those.
sometimes.
I'm definitely not one of those who believe they don't do any wrong. They do a lot of
Right.
wrong. So it's it's like everything else is somewhere in between. I'm not gonna turn my back on the nation of Israel like Tucker and these other people are doing, and I don't understand why. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold them up as being the this virtuous country that above everybody else because they're not.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's bad to criticize the Israeli government like some of the people that are on the other side are like I mean, because like people like Ted Cruz and some of these guys, they just get mad if you question anything about Israel. It's like, no, it's okay to ask questions. I'm not saying I want them to blow up or something. I'm just asking some questions. And some of these people, it's like, maybe they're all maybe on some they're getting paid for some, like
Oh yeah,
lobby like anything else, and they're like, well, I can't talk bad about them at all, so you need to shut up.
yeah, I can believe that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that's just it's kind of going back to the JFK files, going back to all the other conspiracy theories. There's truth in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
It's just figuring out exactly what the truth is the issue.
Well, we won't. Everything's redacted.
Exactly.
Everything. We'll never figure out the truth of
Well, the same
anything.
thing with Israel. I mean, and with 9/11, I do believe Saudi Arabia was involved. If they were, why are we still allies with them? I mean, there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's impossible to know everything. And I think our problem is, again, with the internet, we get part of the information and then we build everything off of partial info and
Yep.
not having the full foundation. But
Right.
I will be the first to say it. I've listened to Tucker several times now in the past 6 months, and something's going on. He's not the same Tucker. He's really not.
He's definitely different. He's definitely changed a lot. Yeah.
um, and Ben Shapiro, I can't. I could listen to him some. I thought he was a very smart individual, but the last 6 months I can't listen to him either. So on both
Yeah.
sides, I really don't hear either one of them.
Yeah. I haven't been listening to Ben. I used to follow his show and watch it a little bit. I can't listen to it now. I can't. I can still listen to Tucker for the most part, like some of his stuff, but Ben, I can't. I haven't been able to listen to him for a while.
So moving on to some other conspiracy theories, the spaceship that's heading towards Earth. Have you followed that one at all? Look at that look
I
on your
heard
face.
about that one. I heard about that one, but it's like, is it an actual spaceship, or is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. It's supposedly an asteroid, a very large asteroid heading this way. And the conspiracy theory is that it's moving in ways that cannot be natural, that it's slowing and picking up speed and making maneuvers that an asteroid cannot make. And that the last I heard it was at Saturn. So I'm thinking to myself, how do you have this information to know what it's actually doing completely? What so but yeah, that's
Yeah,
one that's out there.
it's that three eye atlas comment.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Is a
that's it.
it says on here, or AI on Google, which it's
Yeah,
got to be right.
there's another conspiracy
Says
theory we got to talk about.
Yeah, it says that it's real. It's a confirmed interstellar visitor, only the third ever detected. Astronomers confirm it's a comet with a natural trajectory, not a spacecraft. It will
Yeah,
pass far from Earth, closest approach about 170 million miles away, and poses no danger.
yeah. But there's a
But
there's a group out there that believe it's intelligent life coming to us.
yeah, I wouldn't be part of that train, but I have not ruled out the fact that there's probably it's just hard for me to believe that as big as the galaxy is, that there isn't something else out there that we just can't get to or may never see, or it probably aren't supposed to see. It wouldn't surprise me if God was like, all right, I'm going to create an Earth here, and then way over there, we're going to try another one and
Yeah.
see if they ever find each other or if any, and see what happens, and just kind of, because like any like a scientist, they'll have like five, studies, like they have like their hypothesis and they test it five different. It's like you might as well run a few of these scenarios and see what happens. So it wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, there's no. I guess if you read the Bible, there's nothing that says that that's a thing, but maybe they have their
Well,
own different Bible,
that
and
got me in trouble a lot in ministry was that um I would not say there's no life out there. I'm like, how do I know? Well, the Bible didn't talk about it. I say, because the Bible
doesn't
didn't
mean
talk about it, but it doesn't mean it's not out there.
right,
I'm not, I can't hold God in a box and say that he's told me everything because he didn't. There's
right,
lots of stuff God knows that I don't know. So,
yeah.
but you can't believe in aliens. I didn't say I did. I'm saying I'm not going to be surprised if there are.
Yeah, you can't rule them out.
Can't
Yeah,
rule
there's
them
not enough
out.
evidence for them or against them. You can't rule them
Exactly.
out, and you can't say that they're real. You can't. There's no either way. You can't. It just is what it is. We'll
Except
never
for
know.
all the pictures of the lizard people in our government, but that's a whole other story.
Well, that's different. The lizard people are here. They're among us.
So, what other conspiracy theories on top of your list lately?
Oh man, the Epstein one is just
Oh
won't
my
go
gracious,
away.
it will not go
It
away.
won't go away, and I'm over it. I know he was a pedophile. I know half the government's probably pedophiles. There's a lot of sickos that have that much power. I don't know what their deal is. Half of Hollywood's the same way. They're all too powerful and rich. They're never going to get caught. They've been protecting them. None of these files are going to come out. They're not protecting the victims. They're protecting their friends,
Yeah, because the
and
victims have
it's
already
not going
come
to come
out.
out.
The victims have come out and said we want it out. I mean,
Yeah.
they literally. There's another thing that happened. Did all this is this have anything to do with Taylor Greene leaving Congress? Is this going to push back that he's pushing her out? I mean, you got all these people retiring, and
Yep.
there's so much going on. And again, we're just never going to know it all. Like you said, we're never going to know what's going on.
It just bothers me that like all these people I like, once they get into government, though, I can just tell that something's different about them now. Like
Yeah,
Cash Patel is different.
yeah.
Dan Bongino's different.
But
Uh,
Dan Virginia's leaving. He's had
huh?
enough. He's
Yeah.
leaving.
Well, but he won't talk about anything that happened.
Well, he
I
can't.
guarantee he'll be completely different.
He can't talk about it because he's under perjury, whatever. He he can't come back to his mic. And I'm curious if he's coming back to his mic. Is he just gonna come back and push Vince out? I mean,
They
it's
probably won't let him come back to his mic. They're probably going to be like, "Listen, your podcast days are over, brother. You've talked about enough. You're done."
hmm. I think he'll come back. I don't know if he'll take his 12 o'clock slot back from Vince. I kind of think he won't, but I think he'll come back to his podcast. But I also think it's gonna be very limited because he cannot talk about a lot of that stuff.
No,
Not
no, but
allowed
it'll
to.
all be classified forever, where he'll be dead before they even have it unclassified. We'll all be dead before it's unclassified.
Yeah.
They still won't have all that. We'll be dead before they even unredact any JFK stuff.
Yep. That's true. It's
So we'll
almost to the
never
point
know.
nobody really cares about it, but
Yeah, it's just it's. I think the problem is if we realize how corrupt our government is and all the bad stuff we do behind the scenes, especially these three-letter agencies, that it would cause so much mass chaos that there's just no way they can even tell us. They're like too far past the point of no return where you're just so bad and so corrupt. And I think this happens in any country once you get this big, through whether it's throughout history or in the future. You just too far to turn back.
yeah.
I mean, I mean, whether it's corruption that's got our debt up to where it is, because a lot of that's corruption, most of it's
Oh yeah.
corruption, or you get that much power and you're running pedophile rings, and there's all these missing children and all this crazy stuff going on, and you're hiding it just for the sake of protecting people. I mean, they're too far gone. Everybody would be in prison. There'd be no government left, so they can't. They just have to keep it hush hush and pretend, and we just have to pretend we're stupid and don't ask questions, and that's how
Yeah.
it's been and that's how it's probably going to stay, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So that's my conspiracy theory for the day: is that we're never going to know any of these conspiracy theories, and as bad as can discuss them and have these theories, you can't really prove any of them. You can to an extent based off of just context clues, but you can't really prove any of it.
Nah. Okay. And you never will be able to. I
You
actually
just
pulled up
got
a
to.
list of conspiracy theories, and good gracious, it never ends.
It never
Um,
ends.
that COVID, you say talk about conspiracies that came true. you've seen that they're going to put the black, what's it called, the black
The black
box
box warning on the
warning.
COVID shot.
Yep. And people were made to take that to keep their jobs, stay in the army. I mean, that's just
I know it's crazy, and even though all this stuff's coming out about the COVID shot, most of the people that took it, especially on the left, they're like, no, no, the COVID shot wasn't bad. It saved my like. People are still so brainwashed to their
yeah.
side that it's like people that took the shot just won't. So it's like honestly, I'm at the point where I think you could release anything to people, and the people that don't want to believe it just won't, no matter how much proof you give them. So I don't think
No,
any of it matters anyway.
no, and you're exactly right. We could come up with a file. We could come up with a file with names, locations, and videotapes of the people on Epstein Island, and there's still people won't believe it.
Yeah,
Whether it be Trump
anybody.
or Biden, or we
Yeah, it
already
could
know.
be any of them. Yeah, I mean,
At
because
this point,
there's
you got to
plenty
believe
of
about
photos of
Clinton.
Clinton. I'm pretty certain that man was there doing some bad stuff because he just fits the mold of
Yeah, he
a
does.
typical scumbag that would do that, in my opinion. So it
But
wouldn't even surprise me. But you don't hear it like nobody's giving him crap, but they're all like swearing Trump was there. Maybe he was.
maybe it
He
was.
doesn't strike me as that type, but who knows?
Yeah, that's one of the things I tell my friends on the left. My issue with the left is, do I believe Trump was on the island? No. What if he was? Then he needs to be prosecuted.
Yep.
Have no problem with that. But you tell me, Clinton was on the island. We do have video of that. Do you want him convicted? No, 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 no. That's he did, and then they start making excuses. It just drives me crazy. It seems like nothing will convince you. I don't. Now, one thing Dan Bongino says that I like: these politicians are not your friends. They're not meant to be looked up to. Trump,
Right.
Johnson, any of these people are not made to look up to. They're tools to get our country to run. And
Yeah.
as soon as you start looking at them as celebrities or somebody you look up to or idolize, that's where your issue is.
Oh yeah, for
They're
sure.
they're
For
just
sure.
flawed people who are making lots of mistakes, and we just try to make sure they don't make enough to kill us.
Yeah. And unfortunately, to get to that like height of politics where you're that high in office, you have to cut a lot of corners and do a lot of shady things to get there anyway. Unfortunately, that's how you make it. So by the time you get there, you've already done so many things that are that most people would frown upon, that you're just kind of locked into that mentality
And
at that point.
I
Unfortunately, politics is just so dirty.
I think that is one of the big issues with Trump. Now, I'm not saying Trump didn't do a lot of stuff in business. Probably shouldn't have. His shady, definitely that way. But
Yeah.
he broke into the group, broke into politics without going through the normal
Correct.
channels, and that's why Republicans and Democrats both hate him.
Correct.
How
Correct.
dare somebody from outside come in here and disrupt our little club?
Yeah, if how dare you come in here and screw up our gravy train is really what it
Exactly.
is. Yeah, it
It,
isn't.
it reminds me so much, and I don't know the full story, but it was on Narcos on Netflix about I always forget the guy's name down in Colombia. That was such a
Escobar?
Escobar. Escobar was freely elected to their parliament. I don't know if you know this or not. And
Yeah.
he went, and when he went, they refused to seat him because he was in the drug business.
Yeah.
And he was felt good about himself. He got elected. He was going to represent his people, whatever, and they would not seat him and run him out. And that's when he went off the deep end and caused
Yeah.
all the stuff he did. And
Yeah.
that reminds me of the same thing. Trump goes in there in 2017, thinks everything's going to consolidate behind him, and he realizes, oh crap, what is this place? It's just
Yeah.
a cesspool.
Yep. And he can't fix it. He can try, but it won 400 years isn't enough. You'd have to have
Yeah,
20 years to fix it. You
yeah,
don't have enough time.
that's my thing. And they're already collecting data and all, and they're gonna make our ICE agents' lives hell. January 6th is going to look like a cakewalk if Democrats get back in control in 2028 of what they're going to do to our country.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just scary, their mentality.
Yeah.
And we can probably need to end this one up. We got kind of long on this one, but that probably leads to the next time. I really think we need to talk about what is going on with Islam in the United States,
Yeah.
because there's so much happening that we're just ignoring in the idea of freedom of religion. And from a Christian background, I was talking to somebody the other day who doesn't believe in end time prophecy, but I see end time prophecy happening.
Hmm.
And this is what's going on here in our country is definitely a spiritual battle that we need to wake up to, or we're going to be worse than Europe pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things that are going the wrong way. Yeah, because I would be a little nervous to travel to Europe right now, just because it's like, what if I had said something on social media and while I'm over there, somebody sees,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on over there that I feel like could easily a switch could flip, and it'd be the same situation here with a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like the Islam stuff too. I mean, there's a lot going on. We could go down that rabbit hole for a while.
In England, they're locking people up for social media posts.
Yeah.
I literally read the article saying that this guy who raped an underage person got probation, and somebody who posted something on the internet that was quote unquote hate speech, got 6 months in prison. I mean, it's just upside down. It's just
Scary
ridiculous.
times.
And we did a podcast, last year on what was going on there with free speech, and it's gotten so much worse since then.
Yeah, it has. It has. Yeah. Yeah. Well, another fun fact about Pablo Escobar, so we don't end this on a morbid note.
Okay.
He also, when they had the bounty on his head, and he had actually received a prison sentence, but they couldn't find him because he was on the run. He built his own prison and tried to serve his own prison sentence at his prison to say he had served his time. And when you have that much money that you can build your own prison, did you ever hear the story about how he when he was on the run, he was like cold one night, or his wife was cold, and he burnt like $10 million in cash to make a fire to keep his wife warm.
They showed something like that on Narcos episode about him. Yeah. I don't know how real the Netflix documentary is. It wasn't a documentary. It was actually
the series. Yeah, I've watched it. No, it's a great show.
Is it pretty close to what happened?
It's pretty close. Yeah, it is pretty close to what. Yeah, and then they get past the Escobar, and after you get past him, they're the next seasons. They're into the other traffickers that are some of them current. Like they get into El Chapo and all them.
Yeah, I watched some of the third season, but I got sidetracked and I got rid of Netflix because all the stuff they're doing. I can't pay them money.
I get it.
They're evil.
Yeah.
Talking about evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sure I'm paying money to people that are just as evil, just don't know it yet. I've slowly my retail outlets and my entertainment and all has slowly got smaller and smaller. And one day it's just gonna be so bad I'm not gonna be able to do anything. Because
you're just gonna have to
they're all bad. Where do I draw the line at?
Yeah. No, it's all bad. You just if you could keep getting rid of stuff, eventually you'll just be sitting on the floor.
Exactly. That's exactly
That's
right.
made by which the flooring's probably made by some corrupt company too. So you're sitting on bad flooring.
All right. We went real long on this one, but so not so much a quick clip, almost a mini podcast.
Yep.
But we will catch y'all on episode 4 next week. Hopefully.
Yeah, we will see you guys on the next one, and we're happy to be back.
Going.
Yep. Perfect.
All
right, guys.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110. 843-234-3110 and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.